I do have two items of new business that I want to bring before the council. When I initially asked the clerk to put it on the agenda, I was thinking that it might be something that would be suitable for executive session, but I'm not committed to that proposition. And they are two resolutions by the council. One would be to communicate with the Oneida County Board of, or the Oneida County Legislature with respect to the proposed agreement between the County of Oneida and the Oneida Indian Nation. The City of Oneida paid in 2008 $368,684.10 in real property taxes on city property in Oneida County, which is our water system and our water transmission line. And the proposal that has been presented, in my opinion, projecting into the future, will result in quite a bit of potential for a lot of property to be taken off the tax rolls in Oneida County. And in addition, there will be a diminution in the receipts of real sales taxes by Oneida County, shifting tax burden to real property. And I can foresee the total taxes being charged on our water system going up, which will result in higher water bills to the people who are our water customers. And I would like to ask the council to consider authorizing me to send a letter to the members of the county legislature in Oneida County with a copy of the resolution that says we oppose that, and a letter from me explaining briefly what our interest is and why this council might take that action.
I reviewed that, and my only question really has to do not in support of what you're saying, but I guess I would question why we don't go further and list some other objections with the agreement. Why we limit it just to that taxation?
Well, are you asking about the Oneida County agreement? That's not the agreement the city of Oneida has.
Right.
Okay, just to clarify.
Well, I wouldn't ask that question. The way I understand it, and maybe I'm wrong, but the way I understand their agreement, everyone else's objections over any number of other issues has to have to go away in order for that to be accepted.
I circulate to all members of the council by email a copy of the agreement and the attachments that go with it. I've read that very carefully several times, had some consultation with other people who have read it very carefully, and there are a number of issues and concerns and questions that I have looking at it from not necessarily the perspective as mayor. I was very sensitive, very concerned about the propriety of commenting on that because, generally speaking, one elected body or one subdivision of government often or usually should let another elected body or subdivision do its work without some type of intra-family
But in tying us to their agreement, they have in fact afforded us that same.
Because we spend, I mean, that $368,000 a year makes us a substantial taxpayer in Oneida County. And we do have an interest, but I thought that it would be better from an intra-governmental relations concern to limit our expression to that one piece of our concern that directly affects us.
That doesn't mean we couldn't at some other point bring
Yeah,
up those other objections.
Correct.
But
That's the way I feel it. I think that at some point, those other objections through this council and the mayor will come out. We are going to do that somewhere along the lines. I think that's the way we all kind of feel. We're going to get them all out one way or the other. I think this is a good way to start. That's my.
So we're going to start step by step versus.
Right.
I'm not sure, I guess if I understand the form that's going to take place then. We're sending a letter to Oneida County saying, don't says to all other litigants, you have to all stop your lawsuits, you have to all agree to abide by the standards which we have negotiated in secret. Is that accurate?
Not completely. It would not require the city, their agreement, the proposed agreement has no bearing on our challenge to the Department of Interior. It does require that the county and the state drop their challenges to the Department of Interior on land in the trust.
It doesn't affect anyone else's lawsuits.
It does not, it is not conditioned upon anybody else's lawsuit being dropped.
Okay, that's an important clarification.
Nor is it conditioned upon the nation dropping its lawsuits, which is one of those issues that is a key issue, but I just thought.
Well, in light of that clarification, I'm able to step back from that precipice, if you will. My understanding was different. If our future objections were tied to this agreement, then I felt that we should put all of our issues on the plate, not just a taxation.
Could I suggest a reservation of rights with respect to our other objections? I note that you hope that the state won't capitulate to this requirement because it does have impacts on, for example, our water.
Are you comfortable with that, sir?
Yeah, so that would be to add a resolve clause that says this is not in derogation of the city's rights to raise any other objections or issues.
It doesn't have to be in the resolve clause, it can be in your letter, as long as that's the intent of the council. And I think what the council is saying is you wish to later articulate those concerns. You, the mayor, are saying you don't wish to burden this letter with those concerns, but you're simply reserving your rights, particularly on a later time when those are very well documented concerns anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly have no objection saying, putting that in my letter.
Thank you.
Any other comment or question from the council? Any comment or question from the audience? If not, all in favor say aye. Any opposed say nay. Any abstentions?